Hey guys, and welcome to the Service Alliance podcast. So excited to bring you this very special episode. It's falling under the category of Appliance Alliance podcast. It was recorded over at ASTI back here in January 2022. Exciting chat. Sat down with a panel of ladies and really got some insight into what our customer service reps go into as service companies, as appliance companies specifically. Really excited to bring you this episode. Doing a little bit of a different format thing here at the beginning, but hopefully you enjoy. Hopefully you get something out of it. Like, comment, subscribe, share, do all the things that you normally do. We appreciate you, and sit back and relax and enjoy this episode. Hey guys, and welcome to Appliance Alliance Podcast. I am your host with the most equipment, Zach Kreider, and alongside of me is just like the panel of the most amazing CSRs, some of them wives of business owners. I'm honored to be in this room. Like, I'm just honored to be sitting alongside you guys talking about a topic that I believe really needs to be brought to the forefront of the appliance industry. So I really want to thank you guys for being here. So starting all the way across from me, we have Leslie Koto?
Yeah.
Koto? That's the first time I got it right. Anthony had to say it for me the other day.
Yeah, it's Koto.
And what is the business?
The business is Twin Appliances, and we are located in LA, Los Angeles, California, in South LA, close to University of Southern California.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah. And you are the CSR. You answer the phones.
Yes, I do.
Yeah. There's so much more that you do. I'm not trying to minimize.
No, yeah, of course. And then we have a storefront too, so I do kind of both.
Awesome. Mm-hmm. Awesome. And then next to her is Alexis.
Alexis, yep.
And what is the company?
RD Appliance. We're based in Long Island, New York. I was the main CSR for 6.5 years. I did it by myself solely. Stressful. And then I finally got some office staff, and now I'm more behind the scenes. I don't do too many phones, but I got both, being a co-owner, CSR full-time, and now more back-end business stuff, which I prefer. Yeah. For sure.
So and it's RD Appliances.
RD Appliance.
Yeah, okay. And then next to her we have Sydney. She has been my buddy this whole week, really keeping me out of trouble, helping me make sure things happened at our meetup and stuff like that. And she is an awesome person. Like I said, all you guys come with it. So tell us about your company and your experience in this industry.
So we are based out in Georgia, and then Georgia was running off really well, so we expanded out to Ohio, where I'm continuing to expand even further. And one of these days, we're just going to keep expanding to each other. So that's kind of the goal of the moment. But I run the phones and the back scene.
Awesome. Yeah, and I am remiss in this. This is Atomic Appliance. My buddy Phil, who I'm sure you will see him on a podcast or have seen him on a podcast. I'm not sure where it's going to fall in order, wibbly wobbly, timey-wimey. Anthony has been on a podcast, and David has also been on a podcast. So yeah, the networking that's happening is so awesome. So this episode is about empowering the women of our industry, and I am not a woman. I cannot speak to this, so I had to bring along these amazing ladies who just have so much to say on the topic. But we as men in the industry, I think the biggest thing is that we don't seek to understand. Right? We don't take the time to fully understand what you ladies on the front line. You are the front line of our businesses. We can't run without you, and so often it kind of gets brushed to the side or misunderstood. And so we have a ton of different topics that we kind of want to talk about. But I'm going to open the floor up to whatever you think the most pressing topic is. Like, what's at the forefront of what you are dealing with every day?
Respect, I want to say. Respect from customers, from the men of the industry.
Yeah.
We don't get it as much as the men do. Customers feel much more comfortable with a man going into their house for some reason, fixing stuff, more confidence in that. You know, we were talking about it in another class yesterday. If a woman were to go to your home or a man were to go to your home, what are you more comfortable with? You know, same with phones. I think women have a little bit more respect with phones, you know, than if a guy were to answer, which is good. But they don't get the same level of respect that technicians do, I think.
Sure.
It's very biased in a way.
We kind of talked about that as we were coming up with it. Like, so often, I need to speak to the owner.
Yeah. That's something very common that happens with me. I need to speak to the owner. And a lot of times when it depends on how they approach, because, you know, sometimes they do have a background with the owner. Okay, and I understand that. But sometimes, well, because I deal with them face to face, we have a storefront. So sometimes they come and they're like, they look at you and you're a girl trying to help them out. And they're like, no, I want to speak to the owner. I want to speak to a technician. Like, I can help you out, sir. You don't want me to help you? No, I don't think you're going to understand me. You know?
They don't think women have the power
Yeah,
to get anything
exactly.
done.
But what they don't realize is that we have been in the game just as long, if not longer, than half of these technicians, and we
We know the
probably
business.
can do it ourselves.
We know it. We know it very well.
Yeah,
Sure.
so I mean, it teaches you to build a thick skin and try to understand them. You know, like, okay, he doesn't know me. He does. So in the beginning, it would get to me because I'm like, okay, but why am I different from him? But then I understood. I was like, okay, if that makes them more happy, then I guess so. Let me call the boss, and then I'll tell the boss, hey boss, this guy, he came over here and, you know, he wants to talk to you. And depending on how he approached me, he's gonna know from my that's my husband, you know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell him this guy just so he'll be like, okay.
Yeah. It's almost a code, right?
Yeah.
I think communication is key as teammates in the company, right? Because we're all teammates in the company, and so, like, there has to be that level of communication. Your husband knows just based on how or what you say, how to approach that situation.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've been in this game probably longest of all.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Dave knows. Like, if you're,
He's assured me that you are an owner. Be assertive. Exert your ownership. You know,
because you're
Yeah.
you own it together.
Right,
Like,
we
you
do.
are just as
Fully,
much an owner
I know.
as him.
And
Yeah.
there's been times where a guy goes, I want to speak to the owner. Well, I am one. I want to see someone who owns more than you. You know, I've actually that's like, no, there's got to be somebody higher than you. There's got to be. There's not. You know.
Oh my
it's
gosh.
Just I assume just because I answer the phones. You know, they just don't. They don't think of it as a serious. You know.
They don't think owners answer phones.
I guess not. I guess if I answer the phone, it must be a low level. I don't know. They might assume that. But and then I do assert like, no, that's me. That's
Not
me.
to minimize it, but I am an owner, and if I answer the phone, I would have no customers.
There's a thing as phone
I mean, there's
etiquette,
that too,
and
but-
texts do not have the phone etiquette that we do. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
They're
And
good in home.
You're saying that you're just saying, like, if I was answering the phones, I
Me
wouldn't
personally,
have customers.
like, if me personally, yeah, I would not have
And
customers.
Something that I was talking to them about right now is, I feel like having children gives you that extra patience too, because, you know, you deal with your kids, you love them, you love this business too, you want to take care of it, so it gives you that little bit of patience. Okay, you know, this person didn't wake up with a good attitude. Maybe they haven't had their coffee.
Maybe I need a snack.
Yeah, maybe
They're
they're
angry.
hangry.
They're
Yeah.
angry like your little toddler.
Yeah, right.
Exactly,
yeah.
like our kids. What's wrong with you? You didn't sleep right. You
Which we
need
know how
a
to handle.
bottle. What's going on? You have a diaper rash. I don't know. So you kind of have a little bit more of, like, a little more empathy
Yeah.
towards.
Well, I mean, women are more empathetic
By
anyway.
nature.
yeah, of course.
That's true.
All three of you have just, like, I literally just met you. I've not
Yes.
met you all week.
Yep.
And it's an honor. But I've hung out with Sydney and Leslie, and, like, all three of you just have such a sweet spirit. Like, that empathy, like it comes out. Like it's so easy to see.
Which females have by nature, I think.
By nature, yeah. I have to work very hard to like even pretend empathy. A little empathetic, but mostly apathetic.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. So I'm going to steal this. Personal, yeah. We're getting a little sidetracked here, but no. So, but that trickles into how the owners and the technicians deal with things too, because like we can be just as bad. Really, honestly, I heard you say it. Seek to understand, and sometimes as technicians, or sometimes even as the business owner, Anthony being the exception. That guy's just so laid back. But sometimes as the business owner, like or technician, we don't understand how you're coming to us, right? Like you just got chewed out on the phone, and all you're trying to do is just like either get some more information because maybe we didn't put the notes in, or maybe like there was a whole situation, like you're trying to read how the situation happened in the house, right? I shared earlier, like I've been in a house, had zero indication that the customer was pissed off at me, and I get a phone call like, "What did you do?" What do you mean, what did I do? Like, the guy was happy, a 5-star review,
But it's us. It's who they talk to after the fact. Talking to us differently than they do to you guys.
Sure. But we can come at you as CSRs in the wrong way.
Yeah.
We can come at you just as bad as that customer who just screamed at you on the phone, and you're already upset. So you had a lot to say on that earlier. Talk to me about that. Talk to me about what that looks like.
Yeah. So, well, we work with our area is a lot of Hispanics, and our area is it's very diverse. And, I feel like sometimes it's important to understand, like, first, like, what are the needs of the customer? Once you answer the phone, you already know this customer, this is what she expects. Maybe she's strict, or because you can hear it when you speak to someone on how they want things done.
It's a culture. You were telling me it was kind of like a cultural thing. Yeah.
So, like, for instance, I have had guys who call me and they're like, "Oh, I want to explain to you about my washing machine," and I'm like, "Okay, I can help you." No, but you're not gonna understand me in Spanish. You're not gonna understand me. Okay, I'm gonna charge you to send a technician. No, but if I tell you over the phone, you could probably give me a diagnosis. Well, sir, I can't do that. I'm sorry. So, and then we send him over. We charge him the fee, and then he's like, "Well, I already knew what was going on. Like, how come you didn't just tell me up front, sir? We're gonna give you this job. We're giving you professional. I'm sending out my technician. He's gonna do a full evaluation, and if we would have gone straight to your house based on what you're telling us, and it's not it, but so." It's just a matter of like trying to work with him. I understand for a customer, the washer machine is not working. And it's just thinking, okay, what if my washer machine is not working?
Putting yourself in
I have my kids. I got to wash their clothes. What if my fridge breaks down? Like, how am I going to? So it's just coming back to having a little empathy and feeling towards that customer. But they do tend to get a little more angrier because, they are going through a situation where I just went to the grocery store this morning and now my fridge is not working. It's like I spent $400 on for. Okay, sir, let me help you out. Like, so you kind of have to not take it too personal. Like, I don't know if I answered your question, but you kind of not have to take it too personal. You just got to be like, okay, I know how that could be. Like, I know that.
100%. Like, I love that. Put yourself in the customer's shoes.
Of course.
Right? And I think that plays through in anything, right? Like, so as technicians or as owners. We need to put ourselves in your shoes. You know, you were saying that sometimes it's hard to communicate with tech. I don't know if you ladies have ever had that problem with trying to communicate with your technicians.
So, yes, yeah, for sure. Yeah, trying to get things from them. Yeah, it's. Well, you were talking about something cultural, right? How.
Yeah, we delved into that. Yeah,
yeah.
that was that. Yeah,
Because we have a very specific customer base, 1%ers
Sure.
almost exclusively, and they do have a different way of talking to us, being CSRs, because they have help, and they've got staff and such that they do speak to us as if we're the help, you know, and culturally it's completely different. I'm sure different areas are, you know, spoken to you differently also.
Yeah.
It could be
Of
stressful,
course.
to say the least.
do all of you go home to technicians or owners in the company, or like how do you deal with I know that was how we started the whole conversation about this CSR panel, is like you go home at the end of the day and you have like this bug in your brain that you can't get out, and you want to take it to Anthony, and he's just like, no.
Yeah. I do go home to a technician, and after a 9 to 5, but you know what? We've become this couple that this has just started, that he calls me because he has free time, and he thinks I have free time, but it's okay. But he calls me in between his calls, and he's like, "Hey, honey," and like, "How are you doing? How's everything going?" And I feel like, or he'll tell me, "Oh, I just went to this dope house. They had the nice view." And so, you know, maybe I might be stressed out because the customer just cussed me out. But I want to be a part of his joy too, you know, because he's like sharing to me that he just saw this bad Le Conche and he loved it and it was blue, and he's like, "Oh my God, So I just embrace that. And then there's those times where I just had a horrible day and I just want to tell him what's going on. But I know he's had a horrible day because just his expression on how he, you know, you live with this jolly man, and then he comes home and he's like you could already see it. It's just the thing when you're married.
He's defeated.
I could already see it. Like, don't. And as bad as I do want to tell him what's going on, is it worth it? Is it worth me stressing him out more? I mean, he's coming to his safe place, you know? He's coming to his like, I'm done. I'm going home.
No more.
So, you know, as bad as I would love to vent, and it's just not worth it.
So how do you deal with that? Like, that's what I want to get to you ladies, because I know that I take home baggage.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I have a unique situation because I run it with my ex-husband. So at the end of the day, I'm done for the most part. Something will pop into my head at like 8, 9 o'clock, and I'll call him and be like, what about this? As owners, it doesn't shut off.
Yeah.
Constantly thinking, oh, did I do that? Oh, I got to do this. Oh, I got to send that tax form in. But, you know, there's always details that we're going to continue to have forever. But going home to a technician, it's like, it's there all the time. Just always there, you know.
It's always there.
It's always there.
I feel like something
and
good.
he doesn't get to shut it off either, though, because he's an owner too. Like, but I mean, I feel like how do you vent that? I mean, like, how do you deal with, because you guys have a constant fair answer. You guys have a barrage of this every day.
Yeah, I go home with the tech too, and I mean, we just trade off. He'll talk about it. I'll talk about it. He may talk about it a little more. I might talk about it a little more. And then it's over. It's done.
That's fair.
I mean, we got a long ride home in between the house and the shop for right now. And the whole way home, this guy this, and this guy this. And okay, we're done. We're good. By the time we get home, we eat dinner, enjoy time with the kids. Kids go to bed. We might talk about it a little more. And it's over after that.
No shut off time. It's not discussed anymore. It's over. Something's always discussed at some point.
There's also the kids too, because I feel like when you come home and then your kids, you know, they're coming from school, they had a great day, you know. My teen, she's like, well, she's a tween because she's 11. So she's going through these changes, and I'm like, I don't, like, it's enough chaos, you know. I just rather, like, get my little white flag.
I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
But I feel like it's just it becomes like you're on autopilot. Because you're just hearing this, you're hearing this, and sometimes it becomes something like, do I really want to add more wood to this fire? And then sometimes there's those days where I'm like, okay, I got to write this down, and then maybe when he's in a good mood.
Discuss it at a different time.
Or when he's not that vulnerable, I'll go ahead and let him know what's going on, what's bothering me. And then a lot of times, there's things that I write down and I'm like, okay, maybe I oversaw it. Maybe it wasn't that bad. But if I would have told him at that point that I felt angry or upset, he would have been like, I don't know what he's going through. So I feel like writing down too what's going on, how you're feeling, how you're seeing things, and then just have like that day to discuss. And it always has to be, I know my husband, and I know when it's a good time to talk to him about certain things, and I know when it's not a good time to talk to him about certain things. And that's also going to affect because I'm talking to him because I want to fix situations, and that's also going to affect how the outcome comes. Like what are we going to do to fix it, Instead of him being already overwhelmed with work, stressed out, and I tell him, okay, there's a problem with this technician. Oh, let's fire him. No, I'm just kidding.
But that's a very real situation.
But that happens at dinner time, like that you can discuss things like that at any time of the day. Yeah. Always on.
But that brings us to a very interesting point that we were talking about earlier. You both actually brought it up, the surprise attitude. So I'm sorry, our tech isn't normally like that, right? Like you guys deal with that all the time. Like you have a customer and it's just like, your technician. How do you navigate that situation?
There's been such far-fetched ones where I'm like, there's no way. And then I do not side with the customer. Customer's not right in that way because I know my technician didn't say that. I know for sure. I always approach them and ask them, did you say this? Were you a little standoffish at the house? I mean, of course, they always deny it, but my technicians are very pleasant. I can't imagine any of them doing that. So I wouldn't side with the customer in that case.
How do you handle it with the customer? Because you guys kind of hit on it, and I'll spark that back. But how do you?
I'm so sorry. That's unlike him. I've never heard anybody give any sort of negative feedback to any of my technicians. I apologize. Maybe he's having an off day. And I'll usually say, free service charge next time, 10% off next job, something. I'll give him something just to ease him.
You eat the humble pie, and it's universal. Like literally every single one of you eats that humble pie and does it. And that's really cool to see.
Yeah, because you want to uplift your company in the bad and in the good.
Yeah, they have a bad taste in their mouth. You don't want that bad taste to extend to for any future, and so make it good. Whatever you got to do, make it good, even if it's not true. Make them happy.
Yeah, you never talk down about your company. You never talk down about your technician. Just like you don't talk bad about your competition. But so praise in public and correct in private if they actually did the.
Right. Exactly. I'll always call and follow up. Did you do this? And we'll get a story usually, but. That's well said, exactly.
So what's one of the best ways for us to empower you? Like, what are the things that we need to understand in the business as men in the business, right? How can we empower you, right? Like, because a lot of the things that I hear are like, you're being minimized, you're being brushed off, literally brushed off.
Yes.
I need to speak to the boss. I need to speak to someone who owns more than you. Like these things that I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Like, so how do we, again, seek to understand, how do we help you? How do we empower you with whatever you need as technicians or owners to build you up so that you're not going home just like, why am I doing this?
I think you have to understand the value of us
Yeah.
to understand what we just went through. If you understand our value, you go, you're awesome at what you do. Don't let it bring you down. Don't, you have to encourage in every way possible. Not like, well, were you a little attitudey, or were you, or did you, or, no blame on the, the value of us. Play that up. Be the guys, you're good at what you do. Don't listen to them, and that solidifies our job, our knowledge and expertise in what we do all day. If you guys understand that, no, you guys are good. Yeah, we are. We are good. We are the front line. We are the face, and we are this. We just need confirmation from you guys.
I definitely think that the tech should sit next to us, see what we do. Watch us go through what we do on a day, so that you understand when you're over here what you're doing to us. And the same goes both ways. I think we should go out in the field too. Take a
CSR ride-along days. We were just talking about that. Yeah, I think so.
That way we can all understand each other, and it goes so much smoother.
So I've heard the CSR I just want to hit on that real quick. I've heard the CSR ride-along before, but I love the idea of making a technician
Sit
next to a CSR.
Because we get so many different phone calls. We get part checkups, appointment confirmations, scheduling. What do you recommend to buy a new one? We get all sorts of different phone calls all day. Mm-hmm. So it's good for the technician to understand exactly how many different phone calls we're doing and the knowledge that we actually do have for these things.
Or hear the problems that they create.
See what happens when you don't put that note in there?
Right.
This is what I get.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah, I remember telling one of my technicians, because he saw me stressed out, and he's like, I told him, I'm like, you should try to do what I do. And he's like, never. He's like, I can't deal with that kind of stress. I rather go in and go out. I don't want to talk to people. And I'm like, yeah, it's kind of a little stressful. But also I feel like that's true, going out with the technician, also to understand like what they deal with, and for them to understand what we deal with. But also, my husband, he tends to do this when someone's acting up, and like someone we're gonna do a contract with. He always tells them, you know what, Leslie, you need anything, there she is. She's going to help you out. She's going to take care of you. So he gives me
He puts you at the forefront.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
So that
He
to them,
he literally elevates you, like
he does.
Puts you on a pedestal, like, here's Leslie.
He does. And that also gives me more confidence. And also the customer, he just saw the boss tell him that I'm going to run the show. So, that helps me be a little bit more confident. And that also helps the person understand, like, okay, like, he said
you could do
He
this.
said I can do it. Yeah.
The buck stops there.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's all you need. Yeah.
So that's good too.
There's a reassurance. That's it. That's all we need. You guys are good. Good job. But to understand, they need to understand.
Yeah, they
more.
have to understand
They need
what
to
their
understand.
steps are doing to help us.
They just have no
or
idea, I think.
to not help us.
Yeah. Right.
Well, we kind of talked about it before. Like you might be asking a question. I think you brought this up. You might be asking a question or asking for some information.
Yeah, and everybody reads it different.
Or like, hey, we got all these parts orders to get, and you get a technician that cops an attitude with you, right? How do you navigate through that?
You're not asking, it's not, hey, go do this for me so I don't have to. It's, hey, help me out. I got this laundry list of things to do. And everybody says this all differently, and that's where the texts get kind of like, go do it. No, I need you to. Like, you're not doing anything, and I have a laundry list, and you need these parts for your customers. Go get the parts. It's just all about how you say it, how you present it. But I think that there also needs to be a better understanding per person. And that's where we came in, and we're like, okay, once a week, once a month, we're going to have dinner together as a family, as the whole group, the CSRs, the techs, we all get together, we do a dinner. we go bowling, we go whatever, just get the family together so we understand and there's not a wall between us. And that way we can all understand when we say, hey, will you go pick up parts? They know that you're not being bossy, you're asking for help.
Well, I think that, again, that goes more into the seeking to understand. Like,
But if they're
But it
getting
has to be
attitude,
two-way
well, that's
street.
the thing,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
If
yeah,
they're
yeah,
not
yeah.
doing their job, we can't do our job.
Exactly. It kind
So you have
of
to constantly almost train in a way, always make, no, this is how it should have been done and I don't have this information. Now you're making my life a little bit harder. So curb the
Right.
attitude, this is your job and this is how you're supposed to do it. So if you didn't do it, then that's on you, If they're not liking that, we're like, come on, I need this part number. You were supposed to put it in the notes and you didn't. And then they cop an attitude. That's not going to fly because they didn't do their job correctly.
Well,
Bottom line.
Your teammates.
Right.
They need to treat you
Right.
as equals.
Right. So you just keep reminding them, no, the part numbers are supposed to be in the notes. If they decline the job at the time of service, price, part number, everything in the notes, because there's a lot of times the customer will call back a week later and this information is not there. But it is part of their job description is to put that in there. And if they don't, it's almost like, that's fine, they'll just call me later, or the CSRs will look at the breakdown and find the part number and what have you, But no, that's a little bit more respect from the guys would be nice. This is what they need.
I knew I was kind of hitting a nerve there, but I wanted to do that because it's ridiculous. I see it all the time. I'm guilty of it.
It sticks your
I'm
mind.
guilty of it. Yeah,
It happens.
And
No,
I know
but
sometimes things happen to where you don't have service in this area.
That's true.
We get this, but I need those before the end of the day.
Communicate.
Let me know that you're in a dead zone or you're heading into a dead zone. Hey, I just now got service again. I'll update that claim here in a little while. That's fine. I need to know by the end of the day so I can get these parts on order, so I can get this build out, whatever the case may be, and get this job done and completed and out of my way so I can bring up the next one.
Yeah, simple communication.
And that's where the
a
family
long way.
dynamic comes in. When you're taking them out and you're acting as a family unit, you're breaking down those walls to make it easier to communicate back
That's
and
true.
forth.
Yeah, that's good. And you can just be like, hey, can I get the, you got that on you,
Exactly.
You're
Something like that.
still telling them to do it.
Right,
but,
exactly.
But you're doing it in a different method.
Different
And
way.
Like, hey,
Right.
brother,
It
take care of this for
Right.
your sister
Yeah.
type deal.
It shouldn't be so exhausting for you to have to do that, though. That's
No, but when we went from family to non-family business, we realized that they don't care. You can't speak to them the same way. They're not going to treat it the same way. You can't expect them to. So when we were just family, everything was done on point because it's ours.
Yeah.
We have nothing else. So they just don't. If they're not family, they're just not going to treat it the same way. You're always going to chase. You're going to. We could try, right? That's what the retreats
The
and
culture.
the picnics and the all that stuff we try to do. We try to keep morale up pretty well with that.
What are the other things? Because I'm sure there's other. If I knew them, there's other pressure points that you ladies have that are like bottled up inside that you're like,
So
You know what I mean?
Well, we've had technicians out sick
Yeah.
at least weekly since December.
Oh my gosh.
And the frustration is the communication with that, where they wouldn't give us the courtesy of, I'm not coming in tomorrow still, I'm sorry, I'm a little sick, or they'll just show up and I had no idea that they were coming in,
Yeah.
Don't even have
no
a route set up for
communication.
you.
Exactly, right. No, that's the thing, that there's no communication in that part, which
Yeah.
I don't know if it translates to lack of respect. Like, let me know
Yeah.
that you're coming in or not coming in. I need to know how to schedule you. I need to know, do I put your parts out? Do I, it's all chalks up to communication, honestly. Lack thereof, which is a big thing.
Yeah, my texts, they'll send me a text or call me.
Which is courteous, great.
Yeah,
That's how it
I
should
just
be
need to
done.
know.
Yeah.
That way I can either find somebody to run your route for you, or I need to create a route for you, pull your parts, or put your parts on somebody else's truck.
Right, and we're talking like 10, 12 days that people were out, because of COVID and whatnot, So every day I'm like, are you coming in? Are
Yeah.
you? Are you
you
have to
coming
chase
in
them down.
now?
Are you? And then 2 days will go by, I'm like, I guess not, and that's tough. That's frustrating.
It's a simple
I think
text.
it's all just communication.
I
because
hear that.
Communication is like it's like a way of showing respect. Even those customers you want to not deal with, and they've done you so wrong, and they've said just communication like, "Hey, you probably don't like me, but I have to let you know what's going on. Like, you know, this part is back order. They're already angry. Okay, you know, even though it's like that point of, okay, they're going to tell me off a little more. It's just communication, because then they can't hold that against you. They can't be like, well, you didn't let me know that my part was backward, or, oh, you didn't tell me this about this. So even with your text communication, what's going on, you know your texts. And if they come and they're like, they're a little down, you can tell. Well, I see my texts in the mornings. So I can tell how the day's going to go by how their face expression is, how they talk to me, how they respond to me. If I send a message, good morning, they don't text me back, okay, they had a rough night. So, and then yesterday we spoke about humble, right?
Yes.
Being humble.
Yeah.
I think that it's hard to do it, but sometimes you have to do it, because, like, who's going to be the bigger person? And
plus, it is your company.
yeah,
so
exactly.
You
have to take. You're walking
differently.
on eggs.
Yep.
So you gotta just. I feel like it's like marriage.
Yeah. It's a dance.
It's
Exactly.
like marriage.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's how it is. You want to take care of it, and they have different personalities. You learn to work with those personalities, how you learn to work with your spouse's personality, and also, like, there's good times, you know, when everybody's happy, sales are good, customers are good, reviews are great, you know, and just enjoy it, savor it, because, you know, you don't know if next week's going to be chaos. So every week it's like, okay, this call is good. Monday was good. Tuesday was great. Oh, we're almost there. So yeah, I think just communication and
Stay humble.
stay humble is great too.
Communication and empathy, the things that women are better at than men.
Wait, you writing this down? Yeah, okay.
Capital letters.
I'm learning. I'm learning something.
Good.
Yeah.
All the
no,
things I'm going to change when I get back.
Right.
I feel called
We're teaching you how to be a better
I
man
feel
now.
called out.
Relay this information.
It's not just you. It's everybody.
Yeah. You're getting inside female information. You should take this.
No, I appreciate it. So I want to end this on a positive note. You ladies wouldn't do this day in, day out if you didn't love what you do.
Exactly.
What's your favorite part about what you do?
Freedom.
Freedom.
Sorry.
No, you're good. No, that's fine. Jump right
So
in.
much freedom. So much freedom. I can pretty much do, you know, I got a doctor's appointment, it's fine. My kids need to pick up from school, it's fine. You know, I just freedom.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. No boss.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm thinking. I
I
want to
know I
know.
put you on the spot.
Gotta think what my favorite part is.
I think that my favorite part is being able to be with my kids, because growing up, my parents were so busy working that, you know, you have to become an adult as a kid. Like, you know, you learn to try to make yourself some food, or so just being with my kids and being able to talk to them and be there with my kids. I think that's my favorite thing, because you know, as parents, we're creating something for our children, and a lot of times we get caught up in all of that and we forget that they're growing and that they're becoming these humans and with ideas. And so I love the fact that I can be able to witness it and also create something for them
That's awesome.
and be there. Yeah.
Yeah, you're present. You get to be present. Yeah.
I work from home, so my kids are, like, during the summer, my kids are with me, and
Yeah.
my office is right there. So I can pause, go play with them, cook them, work, go play, go in the backyard, jump a trampoline, go back to work, you know.
That's
So it's
great.
nice. Always there, always there. That is nice.
I do like that. It is one of my favorite parts, is being able to, oh, my daughter has a doctor's appointment today. Well, today I'm just going to work from home. You know, I have that freedom of being able to be flexible enough to where I don't feel like going to the office today. It's snowy out there and it's not here. I'm just going to stay here and do it from here.
Nice.
Jammies and coffee.
Jammies and coffee?
Jammies and coffee.
No kids, because I'm still going to ship them off to the babysitter. I can get so much more done when I don't have a 1-year-old sitting in my lap.
This time for the kids home. Yeah.
But that is nice, being able to stay home.
That's awesome. Well, thank you, ladies. You guys,
Thank you.
have been amazing, and
awesome.
I think as we get comments, and I think as I filter through this when I'm editing and stuff like that, or as we have conversations, or if you think of things, we may have to
Make
do
it a series.
we might have to do more of this.
That'd be
I'll
great.
definitely do this again. It's cool.
I was thinking about like having you as part of the group. Obviously, that's important. In our alliance group, and so we can have those interactions. But almost figuring out how to get like a lady pros type like group going on, where like the ladies
recruit.
of the
you gotta recruit. Just get more.
Yeah. Because I feel like it's so important. I feel like there's so much stuff that needs to be said, and not just like like the sexist and all the other BS that you guys have to deal with, but I feel like you're just not put at that forefront. You're not put on that pedestal often enough, and you really are brushed to the
But
side.
we are the face.
But
we
you-
are the voice of companies.
It's so important for us to understand how to do that better, to be better, and it's just not. I mean, there's not a CSR like how to be the best CSR or how to tell your boss that he's a freaking idiot. Listen to me, communicate with me, be empathetic with me. Like there's not that class here, and so like how to figure out to make that happen. So you ladies have really generated some stuff, and I look forward to further conversations. Cool. It's been such an honor to be a part of this.
Appreciate it. Yep.
And everybody's different. Everybody runs their companies different, and everybody has different point of views. And I feel like
It's good to get different.
yeah, and I feel like when you marry the industry, when you marry someone from the industry, you dive in there without knowing anything. Like that, this happened to me. I never was taught how to deal with customers. I was never taught to. So you just dive in there because, well, for me, I love my husband, and I saw that he needed help, and it just became something like, I want to be able to do this with him, I want to be his ride or die.
Right.
So, and then I was like, oh shit, what did I get myself into? Just kidding. But you dive in not because you love this person. You want to, in my case, you want to make things smoother, and you want to just be there. And so everything just started coming to me, learning hard way. Okay, this is not how you do it. You keep on hitting a wall. This is not how you do it. Okay, maybe I should just walk straight. And so it's just you learn every day new things.
You have to.
Yeah, and these places are great because I see your point of view. I see your point of view, and I'm just like, wow, like I want to do this.
My eyes
you're
are
taking
open to
notes.
everything.
Yeah, so it's great to get different point of views and perspectives on things, and
I love what you said.
situations.
You marry the industry, right? My wife is not actively a part of my business. She
Not
tells
yet.
me all the time she's not stupid enough to work with me.
Yeah.
She's a smart woman.
See, we all started this out differently.
But she's very married to the industry. Like I'm here, she's holding down the fort. I couldn't do what I do. I couldn't do the podcast. She knows I have recording nights. I have meeting nights. I have like all this stuff that I have to do because of the industry, and she knows it. And she's there, and she may not be on the front line, but she's there.
Behind the scenes helping
You get married to the industry. Yeah.
See, we walked into the industry already married.
Yeah. I mean, so
We had
just
the
like
process down, and we opened it up here.
They say behind every great man, there's a great woman. So
you ladies are amazing. I thank
it's
you
time
so
to
much
Thank
for your
you.
time. And we're going to make something I was serious about the group or getting it. Something like that is going to happen. The wheels are turning. We're going to make it happen. We're going to meet again
course.
because you ladies
sure.
are awesome.
My pleasure.
So, for the Appliance Alliance podcast, I am your host with the most, Zach Kreider, and this has been the most awesome CSR first episode, because this is going to happen again, for the Appliance Alliance podcast. We are signing off. Peace.